So we're here in front of our C10 build. We haven't even gotten started yet. We're just taking a look at all the components we're going to be using on this Week to Wicked. I got the guys from Classic Performance Products with me, Jim Reese and Danny Nix. Guys, I'm looking at a lot of suspension stuff. Why don't we take a closer look at each of these and give these guys a better idea of what we're working with. Danny, we've got a ton of suspension components to install on this truck. We've tried to kind of lay out the most important items here. Why don't you walk me through some of this stuff?
Well, sure. If you notice, it's only some of the kit because it's a lot of product. But,
right.
I want to start up here with the control arms.
Okay.
One of the nice features about our control arm is it's got a stamped helical shape that fits the coil spring, and it fits it perfectly. You just lay that in there. Anyway, the tubular uppers and lowers. We've got this progressive bump stop. It's a closed cell foam design, so it's very progressive. So you can actually ride right up on the bump stop and you still get a quality ride. We have billet cross shafts, upper and lower. These are chrome moly 4140 machined. We mounted the shock in double shear on the bottom. We captured both sides of the shock mount on the bottom side. And then we have an option on the front upper shock to do the same thing as well. So this will go into the frame in the original mount.
Gotcha.
And this will come back and bolt onto the frame and it supports it from two sides.
Now I see some removable ball joints as well.
Yeah,
is that correct?
Yep, these are OB style ball joints.
Okay.
These come assembled with the ball joints like you see them, pressed in on the lower, bolt in on the top. This is one of our sway bar brackets. This bolts onto the frame. This is going to give you a lot more ground clearance because you end up with the sway bar being real vulnerable.
Yeah, it's right down there in the front. It's the first thing that contacts anything.
Down in the front, and it's in front of the tire, so when you come in the driveway or you're parking the truck, these things often get smashed up into curves and things. This would be the cross member that's going to mount the trailing arms. This is folded out a 1/4 inch steel. We laser cut this with a really large opening. If you
get a big exhaust through there, yeah.
This is our tubular rear shock cross member. There's a cross member in the truck now. This is way cleaner. It's tubular. It looks really slick. It's going to marry up with our shock relocation kit. So coil spring mounts. Right next to the coil spring we have a reproduction of the original style coil spring retainer. The top one is a nut and bolt, and it's going to go through up here where the C-notch goes, which is where the factory coil spring went. So we have this for the top, and the bottom one was threaded, so it's just like the factory one was originally also. When you drop the truck that much, you're going to want a C-notch, and we brought along our C-notch. And you're probably thinking, why is that not black? Well, a lot of people want to weld that in once they go to put it in there. So we left it raw. Next to the spring, you'll notice we have our lowering block. This is our design. We make this. It's extruded aluminum designed to go around this big U-bolt that you find on the C10 chassis. Tubular trailing arm. This thing is a mammoth monster. It has the same bushing material up in the front. These are all machined CNC. With the sleeve, it all assembles real nice. When you tighten this thing down, there's going to be like no movement. Very little friction, no play.
Okay.
It's 2-inch diameter tubing. It's 156 wall.
Wow.
It's pretty darn heavy.
Very strong.
All of this in the rear portion is all 3/16. We got this thing gusseted up here. It's like 2 feet worth of gusset on each side. This is the track bar. This is going to run diagonally across the chassis, and it keeps the rear end from moving around left to right. You'll notice it has this mount on it on the end, which is really going to slip over the end of the trailing arm. We're going as far as you can with this mount. It's all the way to the trailing arm on the axle, and then it's going to pick up on the stock mount on the frame on the opposite side. It's a lot of product.
A lot of product, and it's a lot of product to talk about. It's even more product to install it. What do you say we get started?
Oh, I can't wait to get this going.
All right, let's do it.